This has happened before. Dang. Okay, I accidentally went live horizontal, but YouTube made it vertical, and I switched it. All has been saved. Okay, so now I'm going to find the picture. Okay, let's get this in the right spot. Let me turn off all these notifications I'm getting now, which is funny. Okay. All right. If you're wondering what I'm doing, here, just to show you, I have this stuff called sticky tack. That's $2. Anyway, I put it on the back of my canvas. Sticky tack. And that way, when I'm painting on a surface, how's this right here? When I'm painting on a surface, my canvas won't slip. Cool. Sticky tack is bomb. Okay, does this canvas have any like dents in it? I kind of see a little dent right here, so quick fix for that. If you've ever had a dent in your canvas, I have a wet brush here, and I'm just putting water on the back, right in the corner. And in 2 seconds, that dent will be gone. Magic. Okay, so how to draw. Let's see, where is my phone going to be? I guess it could be here. I got a plug. Wasn't really prepared that well this morning. Okay, here we go. Hi. Hi, Ryan. Good morning. Let me get the image going. It's this iris. Come on. Let's see, how am I going to do this? I kind of had to move my thing around at the last second because I wanted to go horizontal, but YouTube was like, no, you're going vertical. There. It kind of works. So here we are. We're going vertical. Okay. I'm going to have to just close my stream. I can't watch myself anymore. Goodbye, self. Okay, how to get this image, how to transfer this image I'm looking at on my phone to this canvas. It actually doesn't take that long. Probably shouldn't have said that. Haha. Okay, so there's this thing in art called the rule of thirds, where if you don't know how to do like a composition, there's 3 imaginary stripes here. Let's just do them. Watch this. There's 3 stripes. Cut this in thirds. Cut this in thirds again. Okay. Boom. There's your rule of thirds here happening. Here's the cool part about working off of a cell phone, which I don't see people talking about on YouTube. If you go to edit mode on almost any cell phone, what you see here is, look at that, a 3x3 grid. How convenient is that? So now I have my picture open with my 3x3 grid, which is also on my canvas, which I eyeballed because I don't care that much. And I know that eventually the paint will cover all my pencil marks. I'm using an extremely soft pencil, 9B, so that you can see it. If you weren't here, I'd be using this pencil because you can barely see it and it erases completely and totally if you want it to. I actually like the mess. Let's go. Okay, so how do you eyeball something? Okay, I have to do it like this. Come here, sticky tack. So yeah, I attach my canvases to the table so they don't move. Let's put it right here. Tech support solved. Soft pencil. Okay, so all I'm doing right here is playing the game called What's Touching the Edge of the Square? So if you're looking at this top square here, come on, focus. You can see like this. Here's the halfway point of this square. That leaf right there on the iris is like almost touching the exact halfway point of this square. So I'm gonna go boop and start my drawing from that. And now I'm also looking at the very top of this iris. Where do I think this is happening? In this square. I'm not even looking at the picture at all. Nothing exists except for this little portion here. Just that part. So nothing exists. I'm just doing a shape. Here's the outline. How can I mimic this shape? Something like, doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to paint over it. All the pencil will be covered. And if you stick around, even if I'm boring or mumbling, this will probably take about 20 minutes to get this idea on here enough to where I can start painting. Yeah! And if you're like me and you know how to do this, eventually you'll use projectors and things like that, and you'll cut out. If you're doing like a 6-foot painting and you use a projector of a sketch, you'll cut out like 3 hours of time, and you'll save an entire pencil. All right, so I think the center of the iris, like where it folds over, is somewhere like here. Just gonna guess. That connects to it. Where are these? Where are these touching? Somewhere like, oh, sometimes you get it wrong and you have to go fix it, but that's okay. This is about 10% of the way up, something like that. It's touching right here on this square. Do you see how I'm just using the points of when things cross a grid line? That's really all I'm doing. It looks way more impressive than it actually is. Maybe it's not impressive. Shouldn't use that word. Okay, because art is super subjective. What does that mean? It means everyone sees it differently and likes it differently. Okay, so I'm just making wild, bold guesses here to get this iris shape on there. Using the grid lines, where stuff is hitting grid lines. There's, I think, a secondary leaf right here. What's happening? Not leaf. Petal. All right, let's go over here where we got these marks. Here's this line here. That's touching right there. And also right about there. I learned how to do this, I think, in middle school. From one of my high school teacher. From my high school. From one of my art teachers. Probably my art teacher, if it was middle school. And then every art class I ever took, I did not go to art school, taught me the grid method. And then as soon as I got a projector, I was like, I'm not doing a grid. I'm using my projector. So I'll do that in another video. Here's the top of the iris, which kind of is like this. Shape. Maybe not. Okay. So I'm just trying to get through this because I want to start painting. I don't care if it's perfect. I can change all these shapes with the paint later. I can paint over this, completely reshape everything, paint it back white with gesso. I could cover everything. Okay, so here it is. I think my iris is going way too high up here. I think it should stop more like here, which means I'm gonna have to fix it. This is how I do it. Looks better. Or truer. Or whatever. I like it more. Okay, here we go. Okay, that's more of the true shape. Cool with me. I'll just leave the other one there because I'll paint green over it. And it goes way thinner than that. We need to get through this so I can paint. Okay. And it comes from this point and it touches right here. Maybe. And then let's just get it on there. Because I want to paint. Okay, where's this other petal coming out? Here's the grid. Here's the mark. Okay, it's starting to almost look like a flower. Come on, let's go. Flower power. What's this petal doing? It's coming from right. Wow. Okay, I have to do the bottom part. It touches this grid right here. Touches this part of the grid-ish. Right here. You see how I'm just using the grid? I'm not even looking at the flower as a flower. It's just little parts. Corner. Ooh. And then maybe, how far down does it go where it hits this part of the grid, past the halfway point, something like that. So then the flower petal goes whoosh, and then it goes to the full side of this one. And then, let's see here, this is the halfway point. It's going to be like this. Wow. Okay, going further. Okay, going further. Let's go. Iris, I want to see you. I want you to look like an iris. Please. Getting in there. Okay, close. Ish. This is a tricky one. Because it's green. Is this... Okay. Come on. Drawing, be happy. There's like a little T shape here. There's some shapes, colors. This thing is still... There's like a little bud right next to it. It's touching here though. So, okay. Anyway, so this is how you use your cell phone to transfer a picture. Because your cell phone, when you're in edit crop mode, does a perfect 3x3 grid. So do a 3x3 grid on your canvas and boom, your grids are going to match up. You don't have to measure, use a ruler or anything. You can just eyeball it. Okay, there's like another petal under here. Wow. Close. Okay, so this is like the folded bud that's right here, and it's like wrapped like this. Really interesting that it's right there. Okay, there's a blade. I think I'm actually going to do the whole background abstract, so I just wanted to show you that even though this might look terrible, I have, oh, wait, I missed a spot. I have almost all the good locations for some paint. I kind of am tempted to just start painting, of course. I was going to just end this tutorial, or whatever you call this, help, assist, sharing stuff. Okay, so we got this. Lots of pinks and purples I'm going to have to make and mix. But the background is green. And the underlying color of the background is green. So, you know what? Let's just do it. My idea for the background was just to do a solid color of green that I can then like make abstract, but I'm going to use it very transparent so that I can get ideas in, if that even makes sense. So check this out. I am going to move this up. Hey. Stay with me. This is the cool part. Possibly. You never know with art. That's the fun part. It just could be like, boom, and go weird on you. Okay, the sketch is done enough for me. Now let's negative paint it in. What's negative painting? It's when you paint around something. These are a lot of straight lines, so I'm going to grab a flat tip brush. Maybe even this angle brush. That's kind of some fun. Okay, so now I'm going to take and just block in some of where I think the grass is. I think I'm pretty, like, not very smart for at least not giving myself some, like, little hints. Let's get out of that mode. Now we can just look at it. So there's actually kind of like some bright colors down here. Just get a couple of those blades in there. These don't have to match. This could be total abstract painting back there. That was kind of my idea. Let me just go with that. I'm going to get a couple of colors of green and just start painting it on there because I know that it's chromium oxide green in the background there. And that there's yellow green for sure in the front. And there's probably some medium green in there. There's a little bit of phthalo green, a little tiny bluish there. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I kind of know what I'm doing sometimes. Here we go. Let's look at it. Wow, I just can't get stuff in the right spot today, but that's just how I roll. Okay. We're going to start with the darkest one. Should we? It's just nuts. Yeah, just going to go with medium green, I guess. All right, where do I see medium green? This is the fun part when you're copying or using a photo reference. You don't have to copy. You don't have to mimic. You can just do whatever you want. So all I'm going to do is hint that there is blades of grass or whatever you call that, leaves in the background. Use a filbert. And I really want to get it kind of transparent. So I'm going to add a bunch of matte medium right here in the corner so you can see. Matte medium. Tiny bit of paint equals, well, that was a lot more than a tiny bit. If you follow me, you'll know I have a overdoing it with paint crisis at all times. All right, I added matte medium so it's kind of clear. Now all I'm going to do is hint. That's not wet enough. What do I do? I'm going to add some flow to that. What's flow? Flow is Liquitex flow mixed with water, and it's basically water plus. You got to get the flow. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry in advance. You're going to have to get a lot of art supplies and do a lot of art from now on. So I'm not afraid to cover the lines, and I just want to prove it because it's cool when you can cover almost all of it, still see with the pencil. So I'm just able to get more flow, more paint. I'm just able to like hint at the blades. The cool thing about going over the edges is, oh, my phone, is that it looks truer at the end. You don't have those like things where your blades don't match up. Do you know what I mean? Where you're just like, what? And it looks all like displaced water vibe. Okay, so all I'm doing is hinting. I know there's medium green back here. I know there's a lot of, come on, sticky tack. Do your work. Okay, so I know there's a lot of blades back here. And if you're not an optimist, you might be like, wow, look at her. She's making it bad. But I feel like almost all the stages of a painting are pretty hardcore and bad and weird and awkward until you get to the end. I think I need a bigger brush. Wow. Loud noises. Here we go. Yeah, I think I just want to get some more ideas in there fast, so I don't have to like think about much. Get in there. And I think I'm actually going to negative paint a little bit of it, which just means I'm not going to go over it. I just wanted to prove a point to you that I personally don't care. I don't care if I go over it because I know that other layers of paint will cover it. Oh yeah. Negative painting always like instantly makes it look like a real painting. To me, right? In my opinion. Here we go. This is how you get a background around pencil. You don't care that much. Try to care as little as possible. And celebrate when you crossed over the pencil lines. Don't care at all about the first layers. This whole thing is an underpainting. And if you don't know what under means, beneath. So I'm running out of paint, but I wanted it to be kind of clear, so let's see what else I can do. Okay, now in the painting itself, there's dark marks right here. See, I'm just looking at my phone now and going, huh, there's kind of a darker mark there. I'm looking at this, and I'm going to go, okay, up here, there's a little darker mark. So all I'm doing is painting in some ideas so that later I have like little cue points of very non-specific generalized ideas that I can then make specific if I want. So yeah, we're just getting paint in here. Doesn't matter what it's doing. But because I'm giving myself little cue points here, when I go to add things later, it'll be cool. And it'll give more of a vibe of the real painting. I mean the real painting. Ah, the picture. So, I'm actually in an art class right now in my city, learning how to do this better. And the key is to make it real general at first, and then keep fixing it. It's almost like mess it up at first, as much as possible, messy and generalized, and then you can keep adding to it, and you're not scared because it's not specific. If I went right in, you know, if I was drawing a face and I went right in and painted the lips, I better get the nose in the right spot. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure you know what I mean. Here's a cool thing about negative painting. See these little like triangle marks right here by the flower? Okay, there you go. Again, I can like hint those in with my large filbert so that later when I'm going to do the background, I have placement. There looks like there's like a blade of grass that comes down here, maybe even closer. But I'm not too worried about placement right now. All I'm doing is getting in ideas that are extremely generalized. There's a dark spot there and there. I'm using matte medium, water, and flow, Liquitex. My paint is all Nova Color, and my mediums are all Liquitex. It's kind of shiny. Let me see if I can make it less shiny. Let's go. Is that better? Oh, it looks like more true colors. Okay. Anyways, I'm going to stop soon, but what I really wanted to show you during this entire live broadcast on YouTube was how to get a sketch from using your phone, because that's how we all do it now. And that when you're in edit mode on your phone, it does a 3x3 grid. So if you always do your 3x3 grids on your paintings, you will be able to transfer it. Now, I went into Photoshop, or you don't have to go into Photoshop, but I cropped it exactly the size of my canvas ahead of time, saving me a headache. And now all that was on here was pencil, and all I'm doing now is completing the background so that I can start the painting. It's funny. So this, even though this is me painting, I'm not really considering it part of the art yet. It's just the supporting underlying strokes that go with the art. I am going to add a bunch of matte medium because I'm crazy with it. Because matte medium is clear acrylic. And by adding a bunch of it, it makes my paint go on more clear. Watch this. So now when I go over the other spots, you can still see them. See that? So now if I negative paint with this really clear around the whole thing, you'll see every stroke I did before hinting towards the grass, right? Negative paint, which means outline or go around it. Okay. Okay, my paint starts to go on scratchy, I add flow. If it starts to go on too thick or dark, I add matte medium. A lot of matte medium makes it real clear like this. This is all the same exact paint color. I have not added white. I'm not going to do that or do any of that. That's late layer stuff is adding white, which is called tinting. I just learned that the other day. Yay, art. Oh, well, what? That's tinting is when you add white? Okay, cool, cool. I'm filling in the entire area around the painting, the iris. I covered it with paint to show you that I don't care. I don't care if I mess up or go across the line. I'm going to cover it later. And a lot of times it adds depth and character you would never get if you played it safe and kept it real smooth and clean. Right, so now I have the idea that there's grass going on. I haven't really done that much. We're 26 minutes into this art. I've got the drawing on. I mean, seriously, come on. We're 27 minutes in. I've got the drawing on there from a blank canvas. I'm now into doing the background, and I'm pretty close to like starting on the purple part. And so a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, art takes all this time and practice and stuff. It's like, no, you just have to be willing to like blaze through some of it because that way you learn faster. Right? And if, 1 out of 10 of your paintings is like, you think is amazing, like, bust out some 9 ugly ones hella fast because then you'll learn really fast. And that's why artists do like challenges and repetition stuff. Because you learn faster. Not necessarily making the best art of your life. All right, I could talk endlessly about this. TED Talk for weirdos. Okay, think I got all the marks in there that feel good. Wow, it's really making me happy just to look at it. I think I covered all the white canvas spots, which I personally don't care that are there. All right, thank you for watching. So check this out. I have transferred this in 28 minutes, transferred this drawing, this painting, what am I saying? This picture to that canvas, and I already got the underpainting, aka background, layer down. I have the shape there that I negative painted around, and now I am going to mix colors, which is kind of fun, because I'm seeing purple, and purple with white, purple with white and pink, red, yellow. I'm seeing red and yellow there. I'm seeing like there is definitely a couple different kinds of purple in here. So I only have 2 Nova Color purples, so this means I'm mixing paint, which is also not my specialty. I hope you learned something watching this, and if you want to see me get to the end of this painting, I'm going to paint it offline and then add it to my time lapses. So you're gonna basically have to subscribe if you want to see the time lapse of this ever in your life, proving the point that I could get an idea from a photo. I asked my friend permission to paint, got that idea on here, got my background ready. I'm ready to go into purple, and it's not even 30 minutes yet, so you can do it. Mariah, Ryan, hello, hey family. I'm so glad you're watching me get to this point of the painting. I am going to do the rest of it offline and then add it to my time lapses. I'm doing a flower day in December, so if you like flowers or just want to watch me learn how to paint, please subscribe. Heart, hands. See you soon.